Hey, what's going on YouTube? I just wanted to talk a little bit today about flipping stuff online. Now, I've been doing this for about 6 months, and I'm by no means a guru or an expert, but I've definitely gone through a lot of trial and error, which is something that I wanted to talk about a little bit today, and just kind of share some knowledge and experience. This video is going to be geared towards people who are really just getting started out buying and selling stuff online, and people who are just kind of have an interest in the topic. Obviously, there are two sides to flipping stuff, the buying and selling side. I just wanted to focus today on the buying side because I feel that I can share some more tips and tricks with that and some more knowledge. So, in general, there are 5 places to find stuff to flip on eBay and Amazon and other places, which would be garage sales, thrift stores, estate sales, internet, and pawn shops. The place I have personally had the best luck with would be garage sales. Now, here's a website called gseller.com, GSLAR.com, that kind of scours the internet to find different places that to go to garage selling at. The biggest thing with finding garage sales to sell at is to always keep on the lookout. A lot of times garage sales just aren't advertised online, and you might just see a random sign off the side of the road that says garage sale, and those are definitely places where I have had the best luck. Also, it's best to dig deep when going to garage sales. Oftentimes in fact all the times where I found stuff that's been good at garage sales, is the item that I picked up that sold really well was never the first thing or the second thing that I saw at the garage sale. The stuff that I just kind of took first look and a little bit of a deeper look where I found the item. Like this Redfield scope. So at a garage sale for about 20 minutes, I paid $10 for this and it sold for $91. That's honestly an exception to the stuff that I have sold, but it definitely is something that is definitely possible to do. The next place that I would like to talk about would be thrift stores. Thrift stores are also a great place to find stuff to read. The place I have found to look for different thrift stores would be Google Maps. Personally, the thrift stores that I've had the best luck with are the lesser known ones, such as New Thrift Store or some of these other ones down here, Family Thrift Outlet, that are a little bit smaller, a little more locally owned. Oftentimes the bigger, more well-known ones such as Goodwill and Salvation Army are ones where you can find stuff at, but their prices are usually a little bit higher because they tend to be trying to make a little bit more of a profit than the more smaller locally owned thrift stores are. Another great place that I have found stuff to flip at would be estate sales. Estate sales are a great place to find stuff to flip. There is a go-to website for me personally called estatesales.net, and type in your zip code and it will give you a list of local estate sales. Estate sales are great because you can find stuff for lower prices and kind of like you can at thrift stores, but they're usually a little bit more unsearched. But what you have to keep in mind though is that oftentimes estate sales might not fit your niche. If you're the kind of person that likes to get Supreme drops and that likes to get high-end or fashion clothing or stuff like that, estate sales may not be your go-to source. Personally, I do books. I do quite a bit of books, and I love thrift stores because sometimes you can just go to the thrift store, buy a whole bookshelf worth of books, and flip it online. I remember one time I was at an estate sale. I got a whole bookshelf worth of books for $25, and I sold half the bookshelf for $45 because it was a collection of woodworking books that I'd found. That was amongst the books. The next place would be online. Believe it or not, a lot of estate sales are actually online now, such as ttbids.com, which is great because it makes it where you can know you're going to get something without having to take the time to actually go and drive somewhere and look for stuff. The biggest thing to keep in mind is that even if the item is small, oftentimes ttbids.com has very high shipping. One of the main reasons why is because so they don't do the shipping in-house. They go to a third party who does the shipping and also charges labor and stuff like that in with the shipping, which makes it a little bit more expensive. I remember one time I got some coins and I thought the shipping was like, it couldn't be more than $8 or $9, but it ended up being $22, which was honestly really hurt my margins because I was only anticipating making $20, $30, $10 on the piece originally and spending, which is something to keep in mind. Also, Craigslist.com. Craigslist has it where you can find free stuff even, and oftentimes you might not find the best stuff. Craigslist is a way that you can find stuff to sell and flip online that without having to put any money towards inventory. And because sometimes, for example, I see people with like old cassette tapes or with piles of magazines that they just don't want to throw away, that you can go to and get them. And believe it or not, magazines sell for a few bucks online. So big pile of magazines, sell them in a couple different lots online, and get your eBay business started without really having to put any money in towards inventory. And the last place I would like to talk about would be pawn shops. But oftentimes, they're really not the best though, because a lot of times pawn shops are trying to make more money from these other sources, and they're more profit focused, and in general just the prices are higher, really, to be honest with you. They're worth the time to go check out if you're just driving by one, but I wouldn't go out of my way to go to one of them. And now with this, being said, I would like to talk a little bit about what do you actually do when you're at these places? How do you find stuff to sell? Because sometimes people are familiar with clothes, or they're familiar with one thing, but how do you really just take in all the stuff? But before I really get into how you should go about finding stuff that may be worth something or to resell, I'd like to talk about a couple of things to keep in mind, because I feel like they're very important, which are the other costs involved of selling stuff, mainly shipping and the fees involved. For example, eBay charges a 10% of the amount that the item is sold for, plus another fee, which is 2.9% plus 30 cents from PayPal. And Amazon charges a fee that's actually a little bit higher than that to sell stuff. Also, shipping is extremely important, because oftentimes that can really be a make or break. Sometimes shipping a very small item like a coin, one coin can cost maybe $1 or $2. But, shipping could easily get out of hand on a $20, $30, $40 item if you don't calculate stuff right. Personally, there's been numerous times where I have made the mistake of buying something and just considering the cost of shipping correctly. Where, for example, I remember one time I got this game at a garage sale for about $4 to $5, and it sold for $25. And I was thinking, great, I'm gonna make a lot of money. Well, initially when I bought it, I thought it would fit in a bubble mailer, just put in a bubble mailer and ship it out. Well, that wasn't the case, and shipping ended up costing me $14. So instead of making $5 or $6 like I thought, because I was anticipating shipping to only cost $8, shipping costed $14, and I ended up losing money on the item and time. Also keep in mind that gasoline isn't free, shipping supplies isn't free, which is all very important to keep in mind, because there's been many times where I see something and taxes, don't forget taxes. I might find a T-shirt and I'd be like $2 or $3, and it might sell for $10, and it's easy to think to yourself, oh great, this is perfect. I can make a profit of like $8, $9, $10 sometimes. But then when you think how shipping is going to take 12% of that, and and how the fees are going to take 12% of that, and how shipping is going to take another $7 or $8, it can really be the difference between making it and losing money. Personally, my two main focuses are shirts and books and other small items, and I personally don't like to flip something unless I'm going to make, or at least be able to sell it for $15 to $20, because I personally just don't feel like I will be able to make the money off the item if I don't sell it for at least that much. Now, with that being said, the actual finding of stuff to sell. Here's kind of some images of stuff you may, what a thrift store may look like once you walk into it. Just some stereotypical thrift store images, and this is easily overwhelming. A lot of people are familiar with one thing or another thing, but they're not familiar with everything. So personally, what I like to do, especially when you're starting out, is to do on-the-spot research. And in doing this, first you want to look for things like tags, right? If you're looking at shirts, look for tags. Another great way to find stuff is a shirt with the original tag, because honestly, what's the first thing you do when you get a shirt? You take off the tag if you're actually going to wear it. You go to a thrift store and you find a t-shirt with an original tag on it. That usually means an indicator that you can sell it for like a new condition to an even new condition, because the first thing you do when they get a shirt is they take the tag off. Also, books, and also like we're saying, different markings and different brands. One of the categories that I like to do the most when you're really starting out is books, because it's extremely easy to research, and oftentimes the profit margins are very high. There are two main apps that I really like to use when doing research. That would be the Amazon Seller app and the eBay app. The Amazon Seller app is great when you have something like a barcode or an image like a book, where you can just kind of scan the item and it will come with Amazon listings an even amount of gross profit, which is before shipping and taxes, just with the fees taken out, but of how much you can make, if you'll be able to make any money at all selling the item. The other thing that I like to do is go through visual searches on websites like ebay.com, which doesn't usually bring back the best results, but it brings back results that can at least point you in the right direction. Also, and this is extremely important, because not only will it help you become more familiar with stuff that might be worth something and stuff that might not be worth something, it can give you a definitive idea of, okay, this item would sell for this amount of money, and this would definitely be a loser. Personally, I don't mind taking a little bit of risk if item's only a couple dollars. People have different approaches. Personally, I don't mind taking a little bit of risk if something's only going to cost a couple dollars, and I might be able to sell it for 20. Because worst thing case scenario is that I hold on to the item for more than I really want to. And also, it's a good idea to do your homework, get an idea of what stuff that's miscellaneous that might sell for good, what brands sell for good, what doesn't. If there's one area that I'd really have to focus on and suggest, would be shipping. Yes, eBay does give you a discount on shipping, which can be a make or break sometimes, but usually the discount is, in many cases, for small things, maybe 25-30 cents. Discount, yes, but really not enough to be make or break. And if there's one area, the first area that you should really go bulk on, in my opinion, would be shipping supplies. So that's a great way to shave off 15-20 cents off every shipment, and by only spending $20 or $30 on the investment. Also, just kind of get a feel for thrift stores, right? If you've never been to a thrift store before, I want to tell you right now that plates that look nice are very, very, very common, but they do sell sometimes. Silver-plated stuff, same thing, sell sometimes, but still more common than you may think at a thrift store. So I really hoped that this video provided you with a little bit of insight as to how to get started doing reselling stuff online, and so you can go out and find more stuff to resell. As always, please hit the like button below if you haven't already, and please subscribe to me. Comment below if there's anything I can improve on, or any questions that you have. I respond to every comment that I see. And thank you for watching this video. Have a great day.